All right, there I am. Where is JL? Where'd he go? There's JL.
Hey, hey.
And then there are our faces. Well, it's the Four Beardsmen show, but two of us are, frozen.
Oh, well.
It
What do you do?
happens. It happens. So we have two Beardsmen, a vomiting Irishman, and a cockatoo. All right. TFF 3700 says, I saw JL and Johnny O for a second there. You did. Because one of us forgot to put the picture up. Not gonna name names, JL. I really need to move this over to StreamYard. Make this easier. Yes, Monkey that works. It is 50% Beardsman. All right, let's get on into it. Let's do this. Hopefully, PSC Tony and Irish Demon will join us in a bit, but we'll see what happens.
These guys.
These
Getting too big
guys,
for us.
These guys.
These fucking guys.
These fucking guys. A cock or two, says Gosh of Heckfire. Yes. Oh, man. So what's going on in Oklahoma? Did you guys get... I see you did not get taken away by a tornado.
No, did not get taken away by tornado, but there was some pretty solid weather that came through last night. I know because one of the reasons why I had to stay up so late last night was to make sure the dogs went out and did a duty. So, but the dogs will not go outside when it is raining, and it was raining pretty hard. But nonetheless, all was good. Nothing severe, no damage, so we're looking good. It's nice and cool since the rain came through. But otherwise, today other than that, I was just up super late last night chatting with, atheists and theists, various things.
Sounds like a just knee slapping good time.
Yeah, while still dealing with end of the month weekend horror stuff, which is in essence, putting together the daily splatter and
Yep.
Getting everything scheduled for July.
Yeah, you would think with all the time that you have in your hands now, you could just do like the whole year weekend, the splatter.
It's so weird because how to describe it. So I'm sitting here and I mean, I have like the time on my hands, but it's like my body just needs to recuperate from years of just like work, and just, doing the 9 to 5 thing. So I don't know. But anyway, my hours are all fucked up because
it's
I'll
weird, right?
Like this. Yeah, it's
you're not
it's
used
just strange.
You're not used to not getting up and going to work at a certain time. It's weird.
I'm not used to having to not having particular constraints on both my time and my energy. And now I'm kind of like, so is this what this is like? This is very strange.
You're like a caged bird that finally got released and just keeps flying everywhere and flying and flying and flying. It does not stop flying, and then all of a sudden the wings stop working. Mm-hmm. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. You're not going to burn out.
But nonetheless, it's been fun. Selling a house in the United States is a pain in the padded ass, but we're getting through it. Just difficulties all over the place. We had the cleaning company try to bait. The original cleaning company was kind of coming to clean the house. They tried to bait and switch us, which apparently is going on a lot. That there's some predatory cleaning companies out there because the market is so hot.
Yep.
That they'll come in and they'll be like, "Oh no, can't do this unless you pay us another $300." And we're like, "Get the fuck out of here."
See ya.
So yeah,
motherfucker, I can run a mop and a vacuum cleaner. Okay.
Pretty much. So it was just so I sandbagged them on Google reviews. So and they only have 4 reviews and one of them is mine and it's a 1-star and I just totally sandbagged them. So I was like, fuck off. But we got that handled and
So that's not cool.
Well, she came into she came into the house. She had attitude. She was like, no.
I mean, it's not cool that for them to come out and do that shit.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Give you a quote and then come out and try and, well, we're not going to do it unless you give us extra money. Okay, cool, bye.
Like double what the quote was.
Yeah,
because the average for a 3.2 is for a deep clean for a move out clean is typically like $300 to $400. I think it's like $400. And then they wanted to stack another $300 on top of that because there was dog hair. So when they left, it was like, because there was some excess dog hair. We had German Shepherds, because what do you want? And once everything is gone, once everything's moved out, you really see how much hair is around.
Yeah, all right, I get it, but you're still sweeping and mopping.
Exactly. So Angela was like, screw this, we'll schedule somebody else. So we did. So we found another cleaner, but they're not available till next Thursday, which means we still need to make one more trip down to Dallas next week. I think it's going to be like Friday, but we're going to make one more trip to one of us is going to trip down there, and because one of them's got to be here for the dogs. So we'll go down there, deal with some crap. But up here, but she decided, we'll just do some of this ourselves. And within 30 minutes, all the excess hair, all the bedrooms were, we got everything up. It literally took half an hour, and all the excess hair and all the dusting and like this, we just did it ourselves. So maybe we'll get a break on the next cleaners because we did a lot of it ourselves.
Yeah.
I don't know. So nonetheless, but just dealing with that. And then, of course, hopefully the house won't be on the market too exceptionally long. I had the landscapers come out. I doubt it. I hope so. Landscapers came out and made the whole exterior gorgeous. So she looks really, really pretty. Just from the photos that my realtor sent me, I was like, that looks really good. So
yeah, you should be able to sell that pretty quick.
Fingers crossed.
Yep. Michael Raptor says, I'm loving Tony's plume, and then we should color our beards to match.
No. That is one thing that unfortunately, Michael Raptor is one thing I actually don't have the live chat up. So, but that is one thing I will not be doing. I will not be dyeing my beard because unfortunately, and I came to this realization way early when I was growing this thing out. I was like, would I ever dye my beard a color? And the problem is not because it's white and this is all dark. It's like, this is fine. It's actually naturally shaded, which I kind of dig. The problem is that my beard doesn't really grow in evenly, and I don't want to cut it. So, because I want it to be all out there. And as you can see, it has these natural like waves that kind of grow into it and everything. But if I were to color it, all of the how it doesn't sit right would stand out like big time, especially against the typical shirts I wear. It would look really, really funky. It would look uneven, and whereas this way it can at least be like, oh, it's white and it kind of fades a little bit. You can't really tell when I'm moving around. But if it was colored, all of that would just stand out against my face and it just wouldn't be great. It wouldn't look good at all. So. Like, see, I have this natural deal right here.
The only thing that I heard through that whole speech was Al Pacino saying, vanity is my favorite sin. Oh, Jesus. What's been going on in the old news? My goodness. What do we got going on? There's all kinds of shit going on.
There's wackiness. That is to be sure.
Yep. Exactly.
No, my thing was low. I'm not on my. You know what I have to do? I can't do that on my desktop. It's not like on my phone where I can do Google and get the latest headlines.
Why can't you do that on your desktop? I'm just curious.
Well, because I open up Google and it just goes to the Google homepage. Whereas with my phone, with the mobile app, with the Google mobile, I can open up and it gives me all the headlines underneath it.
Yeah, you just go to Google News and it takes you to the headlines.
Texas man hands out resumes, holds sign in hopes of getting hired. See, this is not the situation that people should be in. This is absolutely ridiculous.
I agree.
Oh man, he's in Texarkana. Ugh. That sucks.
There's probably one job in Texarkana right now.
That's rough. What does his sign say? So this poor guy is East Texas, which is already rough. Let's mute that.
What the fuck was that?
That was the ad that played before it. Hang on a second.
Oh, I see.
Because I want to see what the guy's sign says. And
we'll work for money.
It's just a little bit more than that. so he's handing out resumes, yep. Right? Okay. This guy's sign says, oh, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
One second.
Riveting stuff.
Oh, you fucking suck.
Um, this guy's sign says.
Oh, okay. Here we go. So, here we go. Need a full-time job, family man, hardworking and dependable, over 10 years IT experience, over 10 years office experience, will do anything, at least $15 an hour. Please take a resume. Call Justin, and it has his number on there.
See, it's not so bad.
Yep. So it sounds like he's a out of work IT pro, or I guess computer scientist. And
Yeah, but don't you think there are better ways to hand out your resume? Is Monster not a thing anymore? Or
it says he's probably desperate because he's probably putting stuff in and he's getting no luck whatsoever. Nobody's hiring during the pandemic. All their employees are probably working from home. Just like my friend Cody, he works in web design, and he's been at home since the start of this whole thing. They said literally send him home, do your job from home, and then they still haven't brought him back. In fact, there's a possibility they may just keep it, home based because
no,
they
I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
but here's the thing:
these companies saw increases in their revenue because there was no expenditures at the office, and they've seen increases in their productivity.
No. Again, I understand that, but you would think that just because the jobs are home based now, that doesn't mean that It seems to be even easier to find. Well, not easier, but it would be even more advantageous to not stand on the street handing out resumes to people going to their job at Starbucks and McDonald's, and I don't know, put that time into finding those companies that have the home-based positions and getting one that way.
Let's see. It says according his work experience is in information technology as a contractor. So that may have something to do with it. That the jobs are out there, he may not be. They may see him as overqualified, or they can't offer him the amount that he's looking for.
If he's looking for $15 an hour, I don't think there's an IT job out there that wouldn't be able to accommodate that. I'm gonna look right now. I'm in a position at work where we're losing somebody in 2 weeks, and because the lack of candidates, I mean, in the year we've had two different hiring recruitment sites, right? One was Talent Reef, and the other one the one we're on now is JobScore, and they both suck. They're terrible. Nobody nobody goes to these sites and fucking puts their applications in. The one we're currently on right now, JobScore. Currently on JobScore right now. In the year that I've had 4 recs open, in the year, I've had 3 people apply. No, scratch that. I've had 1 person actually apply through JobScore, and the other 2, I said, hey, go to this site after they came in and fill this out so we can get you in. Recruitment right now, I don't know. It's shit for my store, but I feel like there's better ways for him to get his stuff out there, get his resume out.
Well, this may be what he's reduced to with the lack of money, and maybe just can't afford the gas to drive around. So he says he's emailing stuff out, all day, most of the night, and then this is kind of what he does. So
yeah.
I hope he's able to find something.
As do I. I'm not trying to be judgmental. I'm just questioning where he's putting the effort. I will applaud the fact that he's actually putting in effort, which is something that most people
he's turning down people handing him money because he wants to make it clear he's not a panhandler. He's looking for a job.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what about so that's the people have brought up some interesting things. Yes, apparently everybody is asleep down under. The Methuselah star has been found to be younger than the universe, new study finds. Who would have thought? Apparently, I've been taking lessons from Arwen for excitement on streams. Let's see. In news for JL, bones of ghost human have been found in Israel.
Oh. Ghost.
I'm going to assume that's kind of misleading.
I don't know. Ghost head bones.
Yeah.
What about this freaking heat wave that's hitting the
It's like
Pacific?
bones of lost ghost human species have been discovered in Israel. Ghost human. Bones of lost ghost human species that lived alongside us 120,000 years ago have been discovered, according to archaeologists. These remains could belong to a previously unknown ancient type of human.
Interesting.
Fragments of ancient skull, jaw bones, and teeth that are being attributed to a new species. Our Homo sapiens species, which would have lived alongside the previously unknown ancient humans 120,000 years ago. Discovery of a new type of Homo is of great scientific importance.
Is it now? Are we gonna have to add another letter to the LGBTQIO? Is it IO? I forget. There's a lot of them now.
See, it enables us to make new sense of previously found human fossils, add another piece to the puzzle of human evolution, understand the migration of humans in the old world. That's all good stuff.
Even though that's not going to make Kent Hovind very happy.
It will not make Kent Hovind probably. In fact, he probably already thinks it's a hoax. The remains were discovered 8 meters deep at the Nesher Ramla archaeological site. The jaw was similar to that of a Neanderthal, but the other bone fragments were more similar to humans. The bones were different enough from each species to stand out as a potentially new one. But then again, because this is science, it could be a number of things that would cause bones to look different than the typical to present atypically. So they're probably holding off until, like I said, the majority of science articles you see are all like, science, wow. And then we realize, they're jumping to a lot of conclusions and saying,
Sure.
This is so possibly exciting. And then we realize, nah, it was just a deformed human. So, or, you never know.
It's just a deformed human. It's just Quasimodo all grown up.
It's kind of like I remember talking to people when they were freaking out over the Atacama skeleton, and the Atacama skeleton it's not a hoax. It's a severely deformed human. That's what it is, and that after it was born didn't live, or probably only lived a matter of hours before it died, and it had severe malformations of its skeletal structure, and then the corpse was mummified, and then now it's lauded around, and conspiracy theorists out there think it's a fucking alien, and it's not an alien. It's a human being. It tested positive. It's human DNA. It's just severely malformed, like badly.
Well, let me ask you this question, right? So we talk about alien and whatnot, and this, that, and the other. Isn't the universe all made up of the same shit?
Yes.
Like there's nothing, like the four basic
energy.
Elements, right? Or the four basic building blocks.
Well, there's matter, energy, and information.
No, I'm talking about element-wise, right? I'm talking about nitrogen.
Like the natural elements. Well, obviously you have hydrogen and helium.
Right. Okay.
Well, hydrogen and helium are pretty much the first ones that formed.
Right. So hang on. Okay. Right. So stay with me on this one here. We're talking about that we don't find anything else so far. We haven't found anything else different amongst anything in what we can observe so far. Correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like everything is built out of this stuff. So if aliens did come here, die, whatever, how would we know?
You mean if they had in the past, or
right? Exactly. If they had dropped some stuff here in the past, how would we know that it would be extraterrestrial when when it's degraded or broken down, it's still all the same shit?
Well, yeah, this is what sucks about having a sample size of 1, because we don't have any other life to compare by. We don't have any other planets that have life on them to be like, oh, look, this is what evolution looks like under different pressures that don't exist on Earth, which would be really freaking cool. Like if we found life on under the ice seas, I think it's of Europa, or Titan or something like this, but it doesn't matter. Well, because there are oceans on one of those moons. If we found life within those oceans underneath that ice, like where thermal venting was still possible. If we found life there, obviously gravitational differences, spin, rotation, like that, all these things are going to have severe effects on their evolution. And if we found life there, we can make a comparison. Holy shit, that would so many question marks would get ticked off and be like, we understand this now, so on and so forth. if alien life came here and seeded this planet a la Prometheus, and like 4 billion years ago, and basically triggered or added something to the make the primordial soup or whatever, I don't fucking know. If aliens were the cause of abiogenesis, then how would we know? We wouldn't know. It's not possible for us to know. Because obviously no one was there.
Right.
And then we are just, and then life does what it does. Once life propagates, evolutionary pressures come in, life, adapts to it and then evolves over time. And then here we are as human beings. The question is what kind of DNA? Are we simply their DNA on a new planet? Who knows? Like it could be panspermia. And panspermia is actually something that I find very, very interesting because it's something that happens a bit more often in the universe than I think people. I don't think a lot of people, too many people know about it. I know people in this live chat, they'll know what about panspermia, but that idea that the elements that eventually would end up creating us came from another planet, whether it came from Mars or it came from a passing comet or an asteroid hit or something of that nature. All of these are really, really interesting. Just, that what it took for the right elements to be in the right place at the right time, the right pressure, the right temperature in order to make these things happen. So, but no, I mean, unfortunately, with no comparison, we're fucking stuck.
That's what I'm saying. We wouldn't know. Unless it, was like the weird green-headed looking things, but
yeah.
I mean, if let's say that there was a similar style or similar set of evolutionary circumstances, pressures and whatnot on a different planet that happened, much, much earlier than ours. So they are more advanced in their technology and whatnot than we are now, right? Which would be the most common science fiction type story. But these people just happen to come across this remote, set of stars, because one of the reasons why people say that we wouldn't see a whole lot of extraterrestrial visitors is because we are kind of a sparse place in the galaxy. Not a whole lot of stars, so they're therefore not much. The probability of there being life out here would be maybe slim, or not as high as it would be in other places in the galaxy that had more concentrations of stars, therefore more planets with more possibilities. So yeah, how would we know? How would we know that this extraterrestrial who could have crash landed here or stayed here and died and whatever, and maybe how would we know if it's all built to the same shit? Maybe we were visited by aliens.
Entirely possible. I mean, I think it would be neat. Aliens are obviously in the news right now because, well, unfortunately, because there's something unexplained in the sky is not necessarily aliens, but. With the government's, with the Department of Justice, or was it the Department? One of them, with the government's admission that they have no fucking clue what's going on and what these things that they're tracking are. They can't explain them. Though that's fantastic. Everybody's waiting for a big answer. Either no, it's not aliens, or yes, it is aliens. And the government comes up and says, "Oh, we have no clue.
We can't tell you one way or the next." Oh, then by default, it has to be aliens.
Yeah, and then but then the government turns around and says, "Yeah, we have no idea what it is. We need more money for more technology so we can figure out what it is."
Yeah.
I saw that coming. But, it's interesting. There's some hallmarks there. If I was an intelligent species, it'd come from another planet to kind of investigate the natural life, the natural life on this planet. And given what some of these things do when they dive down into the ocean, that's where I'd hide. Because if you're going to hide somewhere on the earth, where are you going to hide?
I mean,
you're going to hide in the sky. We'll fucking see you.
Right.
Well, eventually we'll find you. Sonar, radar all over the planet. We'll find you. Hide in the ocean. Oh, yeah. We'll never find you then. There's still modern plane wreckages we haven't found because of that shit. So
yeah,
hide in the ocean. Go there. And the fact that, a lot of these fighter jets that are tracking these things, they lose them in the ocean. That kind of tracks as a smart move. I'm not saying it's intelligent life. Personally, I like it in the movies when Earth is referenced as this backwater planet in a no-name galaxy in the middle of nowhere. I like that. Like
we are the wild, wild west still. Yes.
Or we're like the last fucking rest stop on a huge journey. It's like the little sign outside, gas. It's all handwritten and shit. And like one fucking dude hanging outside chewing on some wheat, going, wonder why nobody comes by here.
Hey,
because we
man.
got nothing.
Look, there's a
We had,
ship. Oh, he's just passing by. Fucking hell.
it's literally it's like we're just waiting by for well I guess the interstate's gonna come through any time now. No, it's not.
Oh, so we're Route 66.
I mean, even if aliens came through looking for
Oh,
planets where they could take the
man.
resources from, there are planets like 9 times, 100 times our size that they could just take those resources. We wouldn't even be a blip on the fucking radar. Not to mention hyperintelligence that holds two problems. Like one, why would they be interested? We're fucking ants. Who cares? Two, great filter problems. If we meet hyper intelligent, if we're hyper intelligent life forms, they're able to traverse the stars and come here. That bodes really, really badly for us, and because that means that
Why?
that means the filter is in front of us, and that means we are screaming towards it.
Hmm.
So if we find like low life, like bacterial life somewhere, that's not too bad. It's still not good, but it's not too bad. But the more complex that life gets, the more basically to like us or even advanced of us, then that gets steadily worse and worse and worse. And that means that we are heading towards the great filter, or we are heading towards a great filter, and then that will either wipe us out completely, or who knows what will happen. If we never encounter life anywhere else in the universe, anywhere, that's actually a good sign, because that means the filter is probably behind us, that we got past it, and now the future is ours for the taking. It's just a matter of us going out there and conquering the universe,
Hmm.
setting up little human franchises wherever
Yeah.
we can post up.
Mars, the moon,
I did hear that
Andromeda.
The Kepler system has a nice Earth planet that one day we might be able to get to.
One day, tens of thousands of years from now.
I
Sorry.
know there
So
was.
we
I
got
was seeing a
this.
deal on. I was seeing a deal on Voyager that was talking about. Well, what was it? It was a signal that was sent to somewhere, and in like 25,000 years, that signal will have arrived to its location. And if something sends it back or something responds, it'll take 25,000 years for that response to get to us. So it's like, okay.
We'll never know. You imagine being that. Imagine being that scientist that says, "Hey, check this shit out, guys. I'm gonna make a phone call, but none of us are gonna be here by the time the fucker answers."
Most likely our species is going to be around.
That's what I'm. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. None
How
of us, like
awful!
nobody.
Oh, how awful would that be? We send a signal to another planet, or like this. It takes 25,000 years to get there. By the time it gets there, intelligent life could be there to pick it up. But then they send it to us, and for the 50,000 year round trip, we could have all died out. And they're sending a
Yep.
message to a dead planet. Like we sent a message to a planet that didn't even have intelligent life on it just yet, or didn't have that technology just yet. Then by the time they get it, they send it back to us, and we're already gone. Then we're just
Yeah.
like dead planets, just shooting signals in between each other because of the distances.
Yep.
Like what was it? That's true, Tony. That's only if there is a filter. The great filter is a basically a hypothesis, thought experiment kind of thing. But you have to admit the Toba eruption was a pretty solid filter that we narrowly made it through, which I find interesting. That's why I kind of dig shit like that. But what was it? If a planet was able to view us from another system, view our planet from another system, and then like zoom in on us, by relative, they would actually see They would actually see dinosaurs. Because of how relatively, I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly. Team Skeptic will probably explain it better than I do. But just by virtue of the light that is hitting us, the light from the Earth that is hitting 165 million years ago, that light is hitting some place right now. So if they're 165 million or however many light years away to get that light, that the light that's hitting them is the light that was dinosaurs. But the light that is modern humans hasn't been going that long. So they wouldn't see modern humans. They'd see dinosaurs.
CBB says, "Sorry, wrong number." That would be great.
Oh,
They
John
send
Rapp.
back.
John Rapp. V'ger, anyone? Yes,
Yeah.
V'ger.
Yep, exactly. Voyager
If
6.
if I'm explaining that incorrectly in the chat, someone in the chat let me know. Is basically that the light from the far distant past from Earth has reached further than the modern light of today, which means that if something out there could view and monitor Earth that was so far away that they would see the light from the age of the dinosaurs instead of the light from us, because those events simply haven't reached them yet. Like if they could view us from that distance. So if I'm explaining that right, if I didn't, then I apologize.
Somewhere on the other side of the Milky Way galaxy, there's a little kid looking at his telescope right now and saying, "Hey, what's that?" And somebody says, "Earth, welcome."
Last stop for gas.
All right, so we've got this heat wave that's hitting the Pacific Northwest, and somebody came out and said, "What about these? What about these prisoners who live in this prison that has no central air conditioning? That they, because Pacific Northwest, you don't ever really need air conditioning. You just pop a window open and you're good to go." Now they're talking about being 115-degree heat, no AC, and these prisoners are going to be basically cooking in their prison cells. And somebody said, "Well, serves them right. They shouldn't have been put in prison. They shouldn't have done something to be put in prison."
That's bullshit. That is a
yeah.
It really aggravates me. Yes, people commit crimes. Yes, we have a legal system. Have I been on the wrong side of that legal system in the past? You bet your ass I have. And and I didn't whine. I didn't bitch, piss, and moan because these are the consequences that I endured. But we don't put people in prison to torture them. We don't. And this is not the hallmark of an advanced civilization. It's not a hallmark. This is ridiculous. And just saying that because somebody committed a crime that they lose some rights because they lose their freedom, they lose various. This does not lose them their human rights.
Nope.
Cooking people to death in a prison cell is I don't even understand the fucking logic there. I remember it's interesting that this came up because John Oliver recently did a last week tonight episode on prisons and ACs, and there's a bad one down in Texas, and of course Texas has been just fucking gross as of recent. But when asked about all of these things, about prisoners with no access to AC, and getting upwards of sometimes getting upwards of like 140 degrees.
Yeah.
In some areas of the jail, all the way and it was fucked up. And then in this particular jail, they did install AC for the guard units,
right? Not
for the prisoners. And when asking this warden about all of these things, like what about this? What about this? All he can answer was, I don't know.
No, he was right.
I don't know.
No, what he should have been saying is, I don't care.
Yeah, it's that they don't give a fuck.
No.
Because apparently you're not worthy of just basic human living privileges if you commit a crime because you've endured this, so we can just do whatever the fuck we want to. It's like, no. Prison reform is a major thing, and it's weird that this hit so far because there was a bunch of things about COVID. When the pandemic was going on, when that shit was going down, there were questions about prisoners in close access to one another, and then are we basically putting them in incubation chambers where this thing is going to ravage the prison population?
Right.
So then we have to start saying, well, maybe we can cut some of them loose early, because they're almost done with their sentences. Let's just cut them loose early. And maybe a few weeks or a few months early, just get out of here, go home, go social distance, do whatever. But no, we can't do that.
Why would we
because they haven't
that?
they haven't paid their dues. And I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Well, so that's part of the problem with the industrial prison system in the United States. That's what it is.
For-profit prison.
Yeah, it's for-profit prison, especially in the state of Texas, where I think it's 78% of all prisons, or 78% of prisons in Texas are for-profit. And we're talking about county lockups that are the ones that are considered prisons, but are not. They're not for-profit. They're county.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad that we have built this system that's more about putting butts in the seats than it is about actually taking care of crime.
Yeah,
we set these people up to fail.
Because they're worth money. They're valuable. They're a commodity.
Right.
They help to. I think what was it that said that I think one report found that when some large corporations diversify and they go into prison holdings and they acquire units like that, then it's a nice way to get some additional income in a usually a state or federally backed institution,
Right.
and then they can get a little cushion for their bottom dollars come tax time. It kind of like cushions their quarterly reports, their quarterly earnings,
Well, the thing
because
that's
they can
bullshit about
draft a
this,
lot of money off of it,
right?
as long as they cut corners and they cut it to the bare minimums. All that money comes into the coffers. It's federally backed. Fuck it, man. Just kind of cushion the quarterly report there. It's a good investment.
So that's the thing
capitalist-wise.
right. That's the thing about this whole business, right? What they do to sell this to because all that has to be voted. Like for-profit prison, you can't just go. It all has to be voted on. The population of the state has to say, yeah, we're cool with this. And the way they did this, the way they justified putting the prisons to profit or for-profit companies, just was going to save the taxpayer a lot of money, because now taxpayers are no longer going to be paying for prisons, which is true in a sense. If a prison goes on, every one of these for-profit prisons has a clause in their contract that says if we go under a certain amount of population, a certain population percentage, then you're going to pay us the difference. You're going to pay us whatever it is different. So in order to make sure that doesn't happen, what do we have to do? Well, we have to send more people to prison.
Send more people to prison, or find ways to keep the ones that are there
in prison
longer.
Exactly.
To keep them in prison. So the prisoners get screwed on both ends of the deal.
Right.
Getting out and trying to get out. So
there's no reason why prison systems can't stop the drugs from getting into, at least put a huge deterrent in getting drugs into the prison system. They want them in there.
Well, yeah, they do, and the guards are usually involved. I mean, I would say it's pretty clear that as virtually there's no criminals. I mean, I think other than probably like Florence ADX, the super max built into the Colorado mountains, maybe that one probably doesn't have as big a problem as most of our state-run, or most of these prisons. But yeah, because I would say it's safe to say that the guards are probably involved, that they make money on the side because they don't get paid shit.
Yep.
So might as well, take the prisoners' money, because they have family money coming into their commissary funds. So why not just, get paid to get them the stuff that's not available in commissary? So why not do that? They make a little bunch. The prisoner gets steal, as long as the prisoner hides, and the prisoner doesn't, knowing that if he gets caught with it, he's going to be in trouble. So the prisoner goes in with his eyes wide open. The guard's like, you don't rat on me. Even if you get in trouble, we can still pick this up when you get out of trouble, like when you get out of the hole. So we'll just keep this whole system going. I get my taste, you get what you want, keep your mouth shut, and all's good. And we got this nice little system going on.
Everybody makes a little bit of extra capital, yeah.
Exactly, and that's capitalism. This is what it breeds.
Yep.
When you squeeze one thing, other things are going to go. And people, if you can't just take things away from people to a specific degree. It's going to result in other attempts to try and gain. And that's just the beauty of capitalism, is that you force the market to adapt to the pressures that you put on it. And that's what these people do, which is why prohibition, organized crime, war on drugs, cartels.
More organized crime.
Or this is what you do.
So you get rid of the prohibition on all drugs. Legalize every bit of it. Every last one of them. And I take a lot of flack from this from a lot of different people, but legalize all of them. Watch our drug problem, at least when it comes to violent crime, when it comes to addiction rates, when it comes to overdose, watch that plummet.
Oh, absolutely.
It's happened in every place that's tried it. Every single one of them.
It's like these people. It's like the government wants to sit here and say, it's like, no, if we make it legal, everyone's going to turn into an addict, and the whole country will look like Skid Row.
Right.
Like, no, it won't, dude. I turned 21. I literally drank my ass off until I was 21, and then when I turned 21, I was like, nah, it's legal now.
Yeah,
I can do whatever I want. I don't really care anymore. The allure was doing it when I was at her age. But now now I was 21, and I had my big send off. I turned 21 in a bar. I went to the bar and I drank so stupidly on
Yeah.
my 21st birthday. And after that, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm good. So now I can just drink regularly because I could literally go into a bar at a time and just buy a beer, or I could buy wine or whatever. Now, me, it's wine occasionally once a week, maybe twice a week. I'll have a glass of like a good Merlot, but that's about it. And you do drugs, like, oh man, the allure of it is that it's fucking illegal because you're breaking the law.
Well, again,
Ah,
I think you're looking at it from the wrong perspective. Is that the problem is we're treating it as as a legal issue, not a health issue.
well, yeah, we're treating addiction as a legal issue, not a health issue. This is true, but the drugs themselves, I mean, it's just like any drug, just like cigarettes, just like alcohol, just like anything. That if it's legal, there is a loss of allure to doing it. When you can go and buy it any time, but I mean, if you say, okay, I can say if that applies to me, then I know it applies to at least one other person. And if that applies to them, we can say one other person. There's 330 million people in this country. I'm pretty sure that what applies to me probably applies to a good portion of them. So we could say, yes, when things become legal and you could do them whenever you want, but you have a job, you have kids, you have responsibilities like this, but I can do whatever I want. Eh, because I can do whatever I want, I don't need to do it now. Besides, I got more important things. I've got kids I got to deal with. I got bills I got to pay. I got to go to work. So yeah, the allure kind of drops when it's just sure, do whatever
right.
you want.
No, I hear what you're saying, but I think that portion focuses on such a small set of the whole overall piece. I think the overall piece, when we're looking at this, we need to stop treating addiction as a legal issue and start treating it as a mental health issue. Because if we start treating we start treating addiction as a mental health issue. Now, instead of sending people who use drugs or get caught with drugs to a place where drugs run rampant, prison,
Yeah, that's true.
we put them in a place where they can get help should they need it, or we take them and put them in a place that if you're going to use your drugs, here's a safe place to do so. So you can get treatment if you overdose. You're not contributing to the infectious disease rate because we're giving you clean sharps, we're giving you clean needles. We're giving you a sterile environment to use your drugs that you're going to use anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the help you need if you need it. So now, instead of filling our prisons and filling our streets with drugs and infectious disease, all that, now we're dealing with it as a health issue, not a criminal issue.
Great. Sorry, there's something funny in the chat. John Rapp says, I saw a semi-funny upload where a guy films a chicken crossing the road. He gets out of his car and yelled at it, "Why'd you do it?" That's funny. But he also says, I heard of someone who sold... Clive Wells says, I heard of someone who sold filofaxes to the mafia. He was involved in very organized crime. And apparently we are boring John Rapp.
Sorry, John.
Because he just said, groan.
It only works if you say that with brains.
Brains.
Doran Koo says, if murder was legal, I'd just kill as many people as I do now. My favorite wine, Chianti. With a fava bean, maybe?
With some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Yeah. Sir Anthony Hopkins. What a treasure.
Oh, absolutely. God, I love that dude.
Peter Collins, I saw you in there. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, Peter.
But yeah, here we are solving the problems of the world. Just legalize all drugs, legalize all crime. Fuck it.
I tell you what, this was a conversation I was having last night. It's because someone asked us an interesting question. Because everybody knows I debate theists. I think I'm still on to debate Otangelo.
Yes.
He has not asked me for a public apology for anything, or demanded that I give one, and he has not canceled. So I'm assuming July 1st is still on. Until Otangelo does something. I told him I'd be waiting for him, so hopefully he'll show up. Damn, I got dog hair on me. Damn. But
that'll be $500, sir.
we were talking last night, and somebody asked us because it was a particularly good night. We were hammering. We both me, Xerxes, and the other atheists and agnostics on were presenting some really solid arguments, and people were really picking up on it. It was just a really good night, and we made one theist. His name was Matt. Like made him rage quit because he got trapped in his argumentation. Because the problem is that when theists assert things, there are implications to what they assert. And those assertions can get them into trouble, can end up painting them into a corner when you start asking logical questions about these things, which is why people don't like answering questions about their faith, because eventually it traps them and they realize they're in a logical conundrum.
Well, some of them don't. Some of them just don't like doing it because it's a setup or it's a trap, right? So I think that atheists are just as guilty as doing the trapping as theists are, right? So you guys both play the same game. You just use different.
But our traps are so much better. You know why? Because
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't matter because that tells me they're
logically justified.
No, that just tells me that what you guys are both doing is trying to trap one another, as opposed to trying to actually have a conversation, an intellectually honest conversation. We're here just trying to trap theists or trap atheists. Both of you guys are just as dishonest when it comes to the conversation.
I don't think I've been dishonest.
Are you honestly? Can you sit there and say that you've gone into every single conversation with theists with the real goal of having an honest, open discussion in order to listen to what the other person has to say, carefully consider what they're saying, and maybe making applicable changes to your worldview?
Changes to my worldview?
Yes.
I am open to information, and really it depends upon who I'm talking to. Because if I'm talking to some random Joe on the internet, just some random theist who's just he has questions, he's curious, he wants to defend his faith, that's different than if I'm talking to, say, Matt Yester or Matt Slick or Otangelo or Darth Dawkins or any of these cats. I obviously will approach differently. Darth Dawkins has nothing to teach me whatsoever.
Well, okay, so first, hang on a second. Wait a minute. Hang on a second. No, I want to say one thing about what you just said.
Yeah, Darth Dawkins has nothing to teach me.
You can't learn from Darth Dawkins, and that right there tells me that there might be a little bit of dishonesty in your game.
There's not, because
you should be using every situation to learn.
Well, I still listen to his shit. But everything he comes up with, no, I do not believe that Darth Dawkins can teach me anything, because his entire worldview biases everything that comes out of his mouth. And just by virtue of him holding a different worldview than me, then no, he cannot teach me anything about reality. He cannot teach me anything about getting closer to truth. All he can teach me about is this is my facet of how I view the world, and that's it. And it's so small, and it's so reductive.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's so reductive.
It is reductive.
And
yes.
There's nothing that can be gained from that. I can't move lead. I can't lead that to anywhere else. He's literally got it on this little fucking island, and this is his world. And it's like, you know what, dude? There ain't nothing on your island but you.
Right.
So, no, I'm not interested.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you can learn about your worldview from Darth Dawkins. And I'm not saying that you need to take Darth Dawkins' worldview as something that you can learn from. But you can learn something from just about every single situation and interaction, especially with people like Darth Dawkins.
Okay.
Because
hang on a second. Let me qualify. I'm agreeing with you. Let
me qualify what I'm saying really quick. There are a lot of things you can learn about what not to do. Knowing that Darth Dawkins has a predatory nature about him when it comes to especially impressionable minds, because that's where his style of argumentation works. When you find these, I don't want to say weak-minded people, but people who haven't really found resolve in their worldview or their scruples or their morals or whatever, they see somebody like Darth Dawkins and they think, wow, look at him go.
Or they're not as versed in epistemology or philosophy or biblical history or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
I get that. And I will agree on this. Darth Dawkins cannot teach me anything about religion. Darth Dawkins cannot teach me anything about philosophy. Darth Dawkins cannot teach me anything about epistemology. But one thing I'll
Sure
grant,
he can. Sure
Darth,
he can.
no, he can't.
Sure he
Not
can.
that I haven't learned from the dozens of other people that I converse with on a daily basis. But Darth does have 20 years on me. Like, the man just turned 60. I just turned 41. He's got like 19 years on me. That's something to be said, because he got 19 years more, experience than I do in anything. And from what I understand, like I said before, Darth is a classic movie lover. So yeah, if Darth and I could have a conversation about classic movies, that's 19 years of insight into these films that I don't have. That would be something I'd love to chat with him on, because I hear he's a massive film fan. And sure, I'd love to be able to have that conversation with him, because I'm a fucking film buff. Look at my room. And I'd love to be able to chat with him. Sure, I have no doubt, as both an actor, a filmmaker, and a fan, I could learn a ton from him on that, from his insights in there. But it'll never get there. So yeah, there's knowledge he has that I don't possess, or there's insight that he has that I don't possess. But as far as when it comes to religion or the topics we'll discuss, no, the man's got nothing. He's got nothing for me.
There's more to learning from someone than what they have to say. There's more to learning than having a dishonest discussion. I'm not saying that you're engaging in a dishonest discussion. I'm saying that maybe that Darth Dawkins definitely engages in dishonest discussions, because, again, he has script. He follows script, and if you get off script, he has to get you back on script, or he can't debate, right? And that's right there. Is one of the things that we can all learn from that style of person, right? Because he's got more tricks than a little bit to get people back on script. That's something that you can learn from Darth Dawkins. How to combat, to properly deconstruct that script. And the only way you're going to figure out, the only way you can get good at that, is to engage in that type of argumentation. True. So you can
watch others do it. Others do it.
Watch others do it, right? So you familiarize yourself with, okay, now I know where he's going to go next, based on all these other things. It's actually kind of funny that we're talking about Darth Dawkins, because I was thinking about this whole situation with Darth, and when
this current one.
Well, no, the one where he's pissed off at you and I.
Oh, he's mad at us.
He's mad at us because
we're baby eating atheists, man. What do you want? Or at least I am.
Yeah.
I'm a baby eating atheist. I'm a baby eating, speed metal listening, devil worshiping, antichrist backing, liberal.
Hey,
Hollywood.
You don't worship the devil.
No, I don't. But according to him,
when he got me into that, I guess I stepped into his room, the Theist Experience or the Atheist Helpline or whatever, and he wanted to talk to me about this, that, and the other. What Darth doesn't realize is that his problem with what I said, or what we said, was that he got his script from his presuppositionalist apologetic script from
William Lane Craig. Yeah.
William Lane Craig, right? And that was his focus. And the whole time I wanted to sit there and say, Darth, do you realize that what you have done, and what we at JL Warren and I have got you to do, is to admit that you have a script and that you are running a script? Because your problem wasn't with the fact that I said that you're running a script. Your problem was with the fact that I said you're running a script from William Lane Craig.
Yeah.
That was the focus of his irritation. Not that we said he was running a script. So it was an indirect confirmation of what everybody already knows. And an indirect confirmation from Darth Dawkins that he runs a script. These are the things that we can learn from Darth Dawkins. Learn how to just deconstruct his bullshit.
How not to be a dick.
How not to be a dick. Exactly.
Just don't be a dick, man. That should be a Jesus quote. That should be a bumper sticker. Just don't be a dick. Jesus
Yahweh.
Christ.
Or yeah.
That's pretty much it. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah. Yep.
Judas's team killing again. Judas, don't be a dick.
Judas, don't be a
dick.
Dick.
But
I know you don't like it when I say things like this. You don't like it when I say
you put me in a spot, because I don't believe I go into interactions dishonestly. But I do concede that I have built up impressions of certain people that do not be, when I know the conversation is going to go a certain way, I know that the conversation is not going to be on the level and that the other person is no interest whatsoever, then I'm not going to go in there and act like a douchebag and just try to flip the table and just end the whole goddamn thing. But I have no interest in engaging with someone I know is going to behave a particular way.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with wanting to subject yourself to what the fuck is going on over there? JL's playing the bass again.
I riff. Sorry, big riff.
But yeah, there's nothing wrong with not wanting to engage in that type of stuff. I don't want to engage in that type of stuff because I have better things to do with my time, like watch fucking paint dry.
Contemplate the grass.
Contemplate the grass and why it goes from side to side.
I swear.
What makes the color green? Shit like that.
Just everything over.
You are.
But
you're not used to your surroundings. You're like a gorilla in a new cage.
Where I was going with this whole thing was that last night was really interesting because I had somebody ask us, why do we do this? Like why? Because invariably what they took it as is like, for some people out there, this is something that's very, very important to them. And it literally helps them. Why would atheists be concerned with taking this away from them? And it was kind of like we each have our reasons, and mine is about societal, bridging societal divide, making people think critically about the divisions that this thing causes us, that it reinforces tribalism. It reinforces the mentality that the hindbrain mentality that I'm special and you're not, or I have something that whatever, something over you, and we need to end that shit. And one day, I hope that we will. But when it comes down to it, it's all about critical thinking, and I want more people to engage in that. So, but when asked, kind of put in that position, is like, I find that to be really interesting as to why to occasionally do it. Well, mostly we share space with people. We do, and when people believe irrational things, it can lead to irrational thoughts, or irrational behaviors. Like we've got obviously people trying to ban gay marriage, or people trying to knock down the Equality Act, or in Texas, we got motherfuckers trying to sneak creationism into school so they can start trying to shut down science, so that their kids don't trust science anymore, or whatever. It's because of shit like that, and
No, I agree that these things need to be addressed. What?
I've always wondered what wine Jesus ended up with from water. Was it a nice Shiraz or a Cabernet? I'm willing to bet it was just like a table Cabernet.
Like a Pinot.
That's
Grigio.
What it was. Yes, or maybe even it was Pinot Grigio, just a but literally. Just,
well, no. Let's think about the areas. Jerusalem, right? So we got to think about what's a good wine in Jerusalem.
I know they gave him wine vinegar when he was hanging on the damn cross. That's why I made that joke. No, I didn't get as much reaction off that joke as I thought I would. I thought it would be funnier than hell. But I imagined that because it was a picture of him on the cross, and it was like, see, wine vinegar face. I thought that was a funny joke because wine vinegar sounds like it tastes awful. He's gonna look like, why are they giving me this shit? Why don't just give me some water? But I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Yes, S. Thurston. It probably was a red. It probably was a fruity red.
The lack of a chiller suggests it was drunk warm. Yeah, it was a nice fruity red. Probably not. It
was strawberry wine. It was strawberry wine, everybody. Oh Jesus.
Maybe
he turned water into Boone's Farm. Limey Play, how do you know about Boone's Farm?
Boone's Farm.
They don't have that across the pond, do they? We're not exporting that shit, are we? Fucking hell.
He turned that shit into Mad Dog.
If we are exporting Boone's Farm, it's ain't no wonder Europeans have a shit opinion of our drinks. This is what they drank over there in Texas. Boone's Farm.
Oh. there's that cyanide in happiness where they were talking about what really happened at the Last Supper. It's like, take of this bread, this bread is my body. Take of this wine is my blood, and take of these party chips because they are my bones. And take of these, and take of my spit because it's tequila. Yeah, it just keeps getting.
So, all limey places. I lived in Michigan for 14 years, and that's what you remember about living in Michigan, Boone's Farm.
Chris, Chris Durham, I have to critically think about lessons now. We'll have to pause you and watch the rest in an hour or so. Thanks, JL and the four beardsmen. It's nice that it's JL and the four beardsmen. Although technically I'm one of the beardsmen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's
Or
that doesn't.
I don't. I'm not really sure. For some reason, I'm being separated from the four beardsmen. I guess.
Just for tagging purposes.
I think people are. Can I be honest with you?
Sure.
I think people are freaked out by me all of a sudden
Why?
because of.
Because you're sending people pictures of their houses?
No,
I'm kidding.
see,
I'm kidding.
Well, no, but I mean, if you think about it, like really, I could have made. I mean, I could have made all that up. I could have. So people could take that with a grain of salt. They'd be justified in doing that.
Right.
But not when I did it on full display in front of everybody in Irish's channel live. Because that went
What
down
happened?
live.
Oh, you're
So-
talking about the
that one conversation where he tried to go, well, the only reason Irish tracked him down is because I tracked him down. And people
Yeah.
watched me do it live as I was handing the information to Irish Demon. Irish Demon, called him, left him a message, got the guy to show up on Discord, talk to him. Says, yeah, he confirms everything. And I think people are kind of like, huh? It's JL's guy. I'm worried that people are a little freaked.
Nah, I don't
Seeing
know.
it firsthand.
You generally use your powers for good.
I try to.
I would
do.
say tracking down somebody who is threatening to go out and harm a child is a valuable resource, or is a justified means there. I know there's a lot of bullshit going around about doxing and whatnot. I don't think that's necessarily. Again, if somebody comes on and says, "Hey, I'm going to go harm a child," I think that, especially in the manner in which he was talking about it, yeah, I don't necessarily find anything wrong with getting that information out, with finding out that information. And if people disagree with me, they disagree with me. I know there are going to be certain people that will take what I just said to somebody else, whom I won't name, and say, "Oh, look, Johnny O wants people to be doxxed all the time." And that's not what I said, but that's fine. People are free to misinterpret what I say. I mean, that's fine.
That's funny.
Did you just read the
Yeah,
at the
so
Last Supper?
just don't eat the mayo at the Last Supper.
Oh, fuck me. So right before the debate that we had last night, Rob
Oh,
Parks,
it tastes like eggs. Is that egg taste? No, go ahead.
So Rob Parks tells me that Hellman's, I think it was Hellman's, they have a new mayonnaise out that has mayonnaise and Oreo filling.
No, stop.
Yeah.
Just stop right there.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be the only one who dry
Hang
heaved.
on.
Yeah.
Who has this?
I think he said Hellman's. It was either Hellman's or Heinz. I can't remember. Heinz, whatever it is. I can't remember. I was so mortified by that thought.
Hang on. Strains. Hellman's sell ketchup and Heinz offers mustard mayonnaise. No, Hellman's extra heavy mayonnaise. No. Okay, there's the Hellman's olive oil. I like that stuff. That stuff's good. Especially on turkey sandwiches. Oh God, so freaking good.
Blech.
Mayonnaise. Okay, hang on a sec. What is this thing called again?
I don't know what it's called. I stopped him while he was saying the disgusting things that he was saying. Mayo and Oreo. Yeah. It's Heinz.
I was like Mayorio sauce. A
Yeah.
mix of mayonnaise and Oreo cookies. Okay,
Oh,
hang
somebody
on.
says it's fake. Fucking please tell me that's true. Please tell me it's
Okay,
fake.
hang on a sec. Mayorio sauce, a mix of mayonnaise and Oreo cookies launched by Heinz. No truth behind the fake photo of Mayorio going viral on social media.
Gee, thank God.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fake. Okay.
Yeah,
Fake news on Mayorio sauce by
Yes.
Heinz.
That makes me feel better.
That is awful. A mixture of mayonnaise and Oreo cookies. According to several tweets, several users are amazed by the mixture of the two odd ingredients, with some expressed displeasure and disappointment. While some netizens believe the sauce was real, few were skeptical about the viral photo. Photos posted by social media claims that Heinz has come up with a new product, Mayorio, a mix of mayonnaise and Oreo cookies. The viral photos being widely shared shows a hand holding Heinz holding a Heinz squeeze bottle filled with a gray color mixture, showing a mix of Oreo cookies and mayonnaise. Literally, it's so awful.
Just the thought. My mother made the mistake once a few years ago, telling me that she used sometimes when she's out of eggs, she'll use mayonnaise in cake. I have never had cake at her house ever since.
I can see using cream cheese, but not that. John Rapp says mayo on hamburgers. That's a big yes.
That's a hell no. No.
That's a hell man's yes.
That's a hell no. Fuck mayonnaise.
Mayo on hamburgers. Fucking A.
No, it's so gross. Take a big old bite of hamburger. Look like you just got finished blowing a cow.
You don't put half the damn bottle on it, man. Come on.
I don't know. I've seen some people.
Ooh,
fuck.
Mayo and ketchup and mustard all together like it's Sonic. You can get all three. Fucking A. God. That's a hand. That's good stuff. And Sonic doesn't even really make great hamburgers, but at least they're I've never encountered bad toppings. Like their lettuce, their tomato, their onion, their pickle is always fresh. You know, maybe it was the one I was going to because they were always really good about that. And just enough mayo, just enough ketchup, mustard, and mayo. And it makes a nice little, kind of like pink thing going on. It's really, really good. It's good shit.
Nope.
Mayo, ketchup, mustard, raw onions, and sandwich pickles on hamburgers. Ooh, that sounds tasty. I like those sandwich pickles, the long ones. They're long cut, like those in hot dogs. Those go really, really well.
Nope.
John Rupp says, if the burger has salad on it, yes. But if no salad, then no mayo. You might mean salad dressing, like not Hellman's. What's the other one? Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip is technically salad dressing. And I'm not a fan of Miracle Whip because I don't think it just tastes off to me. But some people love Miracle Whip and they think mayonnaise tastes off. So I think it's very similar to the difference between I can do Equal or Splenda, but I cannot do Sweet and Low. Yeah. Sweet and Low literally tastes.
Do you know how Sweet and Low is?
Like rancid walrus ass.
Why do you know what rancid walrus ass tastes like?
It's the only thing I could possibly imagine, that the asshole of a walrus rotting in the sun would taste like this.
I just don't understand how that would be the thing that you go to. Do you know what Sweet and Low originally was?
Pesticide?
Rat poison.
A rat killer.
I'm serious.
It's so fucking awful.
Yeah, it was originally developed to be rat poison, and it didn't work. It didn't work very well. Matter of fact, is they found that it took them 20 years to die of cancer.
Yeah, I taste Sweet and Low, and first it's like sickly sweet up front, and then it kicks you in the back of the throat, and you're just like, what the god.
Yet here we are putting mayonnaise on a fucking hamburger.
Mayonnaise is amazing. Mayonnaise, not salad dressing. Miracle Whip sucks.
They all suck.
Although there'll be people out there who say that Miracle Whip rocks. I just think Miracle Whip just tastes fucking awful. It's just awful.
They all taste awful. It's the sound that mayonnaise makes. Oh god!
Tony Regime says, I never eat salad cream, and we don't get Miracle Whip here, but mayo is good.
Nope, nothing good
Mix
about mayo.
Mayo with chopped Goya chipotle chilies equals bomb chipotle dip.
Equals the fucking waste of good chipotle.
Mayo and ketchup is how you make seafood sauce.
That's why I don't eat fucking seafood sauce.
But you do eat seafood.
Sometimes, very rare,
Yeah.
but yeah, I do sometimes. I don't. Well, I don't like crustacean. I don't like crab. I don't like lobster. None of that shit. I'll have crab on some of the sushi that I eat, but it's usually very very small amounts. I'm not a fan
You
of.
you don't like lobster, cockroach of the sea?
Nope, don't like it.
It's in essence what it is. It's a
Yeah,
giant
it's
cockroach.
all it is. It's all it is. And
Giant sea
shrimp, those are
cockroach.
little. Those yeah, shrimp are just fucking sea gnats. Crabs are sea
um,
flies. I'm good.
what was this? Why don't they deter these things before they bring them out?
Yep. Not so much here or here so
Here
much, but
it is.
right
Right
here.
here. Oh my god, what happened to your face? I knew it. Basic trigonometry. One of my amazing patrons. Good to see you, BT. Ketchup on the top, mayo and English mustard on the bottom. Awesome burger. I would agree with that, but Dijon mustard. I
I
love
think
Dijon
English
mustard.
isn't English mustard Dijon mustard.
Maybe it is Dijon. Maybe it does mean Dijon.
I think
But
it
I love
is.
Dijon mustard because my fucking palate is shit. So I gotta have spicy stuff. Which is probably means I'm gonna die from dyspepsia or something. I don't fucking know. Squid, octopus, gamba, tasty. Yes, delicious.
I
I fucking
have
love
I have
calamari.
thrown hamburgers. I've and I know this makes me kind of a Karen, but I have thrown hamburgers before. When I sit down and go to a restaurant and order a hamburger, I specifically say no mayonnaise, no mayo, no, And if it's well, what about aioli? I said that's just fucking mayonnaise with a different name.
That's funny.
If I'm not sure, I'll say put all the sauce on the side, and I'll whatever. I was at this place. I can't even remember the name of it, but it was in Weatherford, of all places. I specifically told the lady, I said, hey, the waitress, I don't want any mayonnaise on this. If I get mayonnaise on it, I'm going to throw it back at you.
You do a whole 9 yards? If there's any mayonnaise on this, I'm going to go to your house. I'm going to chainsaw your legs off. I'm going to burn your house down. And I'm going to stand outside and watch while you drag your bleeding stumps out of your burning house.
Yep. I didn't do that one.
I don't want to kill you. I would hate it so much. I'd hate it more than mayonnaise. And you know how much I hate mayonnaise. Yes, I do.
Yeah, so she brings me out brings that, and I, thinking, cool, whatever. I take a bite, and the first fucking thing I taste is mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Right? So I spit that shit out, and I wave her over, and I said, I asked for no mayonnaise on this burger. Can you remake this, please, with no mayonnaise? I was polite whenever she brought it. So what they did, no bullshit, right? There's a bite missing out of this fucking hamburger, and it's sitting in my napkin, right, on the table. They take this fucking thing, they go back, they just open it up and redress it and bring it back. I said, are you fucking kidding me? You guys just brought me out the same fucking hamburger I took a bite out of that had mayonnaise on it, and you want me to fucking eat this shit? I said, get rid of this fucking thing, man. Take this fucking thing off my bill. I'm not paying for this shit.
Munchkin inbound.
Munchkin! Ugh. And they sent out.
Hey, Pumpkin.
What is this? Oh, you want to show me?
Is it a dinosaur?
No, it's not a dinosaur.
What is it? No, what is it? It's Baby Yoda.
It's Grogu.
Grogu.
The child.
Grogu, something like that.
I believe it's Grogu, yeah, with a G.
Grogu. Let's see what's going on here. So apparently, English mustard is not Dijon mustard.
No, I thought it was, but
Octopus. Apparently, Mr. Malort says, "Oh, Mr. Malort, another one of my." I want to give the shout out. Now we're going to do it again on the show. But Mr. Malort and Charlie Welch, 2 new patrons at Week in Horror. Thank you guys. I love you guys so much. You guys are amazing. Fucking love you. We'll give you a shout out on Week in Horror as well. But I saw you in the chat. I want to give you my thanks. Well, first of all, let's go from the top. So Nerd Angle says, "Fat guy in a little coat." What do you think of ranch dressing?
Nope.
Not a fan. Not
Nope.
a fan of ranch dressing. I just there's certain things when I started cutting in on my diet when I went back to certain things I don't eat just because of either fat content or whatever's in it, and some things you'll lose your taste for. Just over time, you just don't. I just don't dig the taste. It's too sweet, and it's just too. I can literally taste the fat in it, which is kind of gross. Kind of hangs at the roof of your mouth. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
What do you think of ranch dressing? Octopus is too sentient to eat. I agree. They are very sentient. God damn, their rings are tasty. I love octopus,
Nope.
squid, calamari.
Can't do it.
I absolutely adore it. Fried, raw, it doesn't matter.
Can't do it.
Absolutely delicious. English mustard is not Dijon mustard. It says basic trigonometry is hell no. Coleman's mustard enough to make your nose burn. Coleman's isn't that spicy. No, maybe it's well. I mean, I'm the guy who like puts sriracha on like everything just so I can give it some flavor. Nerd sounds like it could, but it's I was like, it's me. Mario Ruiz says I'm losing my respect for you with this lobster debacle, Johnny O.
Sorry, I don't eat water bug.
Tony Regime says English mustard is amazing, especially if you mix it with honey and spread it over a chicken before roasting it. That sounds tasty. Honestly, you know what you can also do is when you're making the beef patty, like going back to mayo, you can actually make the beef patties when you're making them. Before you cook them, you actually mix mayo into them. So you can cook the mayonnaise
so you can
into the
just
patty.
make it extremely disgusting hamburger?
No, then you don't have to put mayonnaise on it. It's already cooked into it. It's really, really good. Nerd Angle says on this day in history, Queen Cersei blew up the Sept of Baelor with dragonfire. Good to know. Shane Summers says, as left myself, as someone who was a chef, you should have gotten a new meal. Yes, you should have. That should have been the standard.
That should have been the standard. And when he came back out, he tried to argue with me like, you didn't take a bite out of it. I said, dude, look at this fucking napkin here. What the fuck do you think that is?
Tina Jones says mustard, ew, but honey mustard, nom nom.
Honey mustard, so long as it's just mustard and honey. A lot of these people like to sneak in mayonnaise to honey mustard, which I don't fucking understand.
Yes, Charlie Welch, I did give you a shout out. You are the man, and you and Mr. Malort were our two newest patrons. You're also going to get a shout out on Week in Horror. I just wanted to do it now because I saw you both in the chat. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. Shane Summers says, "Oh my God, some Mediterranean octopus grilled. Oh, so tasty, so tasty." See, wings are only an excuse to eat blue cheese without looking weird. Mr. Malort says wings are only an excuse to eat blue cheese without looking weird. On occasion, not always, I like blue cheese crumbles with my steak. Sometimes I got to really be in the mood for it. Like I want that blue cheese flavor. Yeah. Sometimes you're in the mood for something salty. You're in the mood for something sweet. Sometimes I like that kind of like that cheesy saltiness that you get with blue cheese, and I dig that. And sometimes I want that with. Sometimes I want grilled mushrooms. Sometimes I just want the steak. Don't fucking touch it. You know, most of the time I like it rare. I just want to eat it rare. Leave me alone. Give me my rare steak. But sometimes, blue. I'm in the mood for some blue. I'm feeling decadent. I'm feeling fancy. I'd like some blue cheese crumbles with some sauteed mushrooms for my steak. But keep that goddamn steak sauce away from me.
Facty, no, I do not eat Big Macs. I don't like Thousand Island, which is just pink mayonnaise.
Thousand Island's gross.
Well, what are you talking about? Wait a minute. All Thousand Island is a little pink mayonnaise with fucking relish in it. That's all that is.
I'm not a relish fan. I'm not
everything
a relish
you
fan.
Just said. All relishes is freaking chopped up pickles. That's all that shit is.
I'm just not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of relish. I'm not a fan of Chicago relish, which sucks because I get looked at weird if I order a Chicago dog and it doesn't have any relish on it. I don't dig relish. Maybe it's the look of it. Maybe it's the consistency. Just put a fucking pickle on it. Just put the pickle on it. You don't need. It doesn't need to be pickle slurry. All right?
It's just minced pickle.
Just like, why don't you just put the pickle in your mouth? Nom. That's relish.
Yep.
I just don't dig our relish. I really don't.
You're over here talking about eating chicken jizz, and you're okay with that.
Mayonnaise is not what?
How is it you knew that's what I was talking about?
Now Caesar dressing. I typically eat Caesar salads. I like Caesar salads, and it's the only thing I'll eat anchovies on, which is wild. Because anchovies on anything else I don't like, but I do like them on a Caesar salad, which is funky. Fucking weird. Humans are weird. Sometimes I want that cheesy saltiness. JL 2021.
There you go.
You can quote me, motherfucker. You can quote my ass. Put that shit on a t-shirt. Cheesy saltiness. JL 2021.
Or JL 2021. You can quote my ass.
You can quote my ass.
Oh my goodness.
If you put ketchup on your hot dog, you are dead to me. Oh, Alien X Gaming throwing down the gauntlet.
Heat, yeah. Well, you're yeah, I can understand why you would say that.
Why? Hot dog with ketchup? That's like Americana, man.
I mean, to each their own, right? I give. Yes, chicken breast marinated in Italian dressing. You can also use Italian dressing to marinate your steak.
Piss off.
You've never marinated your steak in Italian dressing.
Not in Italian dressing, no.
You realize that all that Italian dressing is oil and salt, right? So hang
on.
I'm not creamy Italian, none of that bullshit. Just like regular straight Italian dressing, salad dressing. You know what I mean? It's
like the clear, like the stuff that you can almost see through. It's like yellowish. It's
right.
Like yellowish, and it's more watery.
Well, it's vinegar oil.
Yeah, okay. I haven't, but I had the creamy shit in my head. And
not the creamy shit, dude. Seriously,
the
creamy shit. You think I would endorse anything that's got even the remotest little bitty thing to mayonnaise? Get the fuck out of here. No, but it's just oil and vinegar.
Like marinate your steak in balsamic vinegar.
Yes, stuff like that. Yeah, right.
That sounds very tasty.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Oil, vinegar, and mixed herbs.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah.
Steak marinated in coffee. I've not heard that one. I'm not. That's got to be that spotted dick stuff that you guys eat over there in the old
marinated in
across the
coffee.
pond.
If you're gonna marinate your steak in coffee, you might as well just make it like Kopi Luwak or Kopi Luwak. Just go the full board, because at least have one of the greatest tasting coffees in the world with a great tasting steak. Marinate the sucker for 24 hours in Kopi Luwak. Throw it on a grill. Black and blue, or just go straight rare, and then bam, you're good to go.
It's important that your steaks are properly and fully thawed before you cook them, by the way.
If you can't eat raw steak, you're not a
No, it has to be thawed. It has to be completely thawed before you cook your steak.
Well, yeah, of course. But I'm saying, like, raw. Oh, sorry, not raw. Rare. Or medium rare, if you you need to take some of the primal out of it, but I prefer them rare. I really do.
I'm a rare to medium rare steak person. My father, goddamn, he's got to have it fucking like black on the outside and almost black on the inside.
Oh, gross!
Charcoal.
Did you see the picture? There's a picture going around of a restaurant, and it was on Facebook. But a restaurant that someone took a picture of their menu. And at the bottom, it has medium well and well done are not options that they serve.
Was it a French restaurant?
No, it was some steak place here in America. I didn't catch the name. I have to look up the image again.
Del Frisco's.
No, maybe I saved it. No, I did not save it. Dang it. But basically, they took medium well and well done off of their menu. Those are not options to get your steaks cooked by, because the loss of quality is too high.
Yeah.
It's like, we simply cannot control the quality. There's too much loss when you cook it to this degree. We are not offering this because, you just lose too much in the steak. They don't want to serve inferior product. They want people to be able to taste their stuff. And kudos. Fuck, well done. You have no soul.
Well, to each their own. Eat what you like, how you like it. Like I said, people eating mayonnaise, that's on them. I won't do it. It's fucking disgusting to me. You want to have a leather strip steak? Go right ahead.
If you're going well done, just go just finish the bases and just eat jerky.
Yeah, right. Just go fucking.
Yeah, don't stop at second. Just finish. Just round the bases and just eat jerky. Because at least jerky's good. You can flavor that any way. They make 100 different varieties. I have in Oklahoma, there is a beef jerky. I want to call it like a buffet, but they have all the different selections like laid out. You can literally go do like this, like you go to a Walmart or somewhere and see the candy aisle where they have all the different tubes of candies. You can get a little bit.
Have you not been to that place in the stockyards that has?
I haven't been to the stockyards in almost 20 years.
There's a shop there that's got pretty much beef jerky all the beef jerkies, all the different types of flavors and whatnot. They even have bison jerky, all kinds of shit.
I didn't realize it. I really like ostrich.
I've never had ostrich. People tell me it's really good.
I like ostrich. I like alligator.
I've had gator.
Bison is good because it's naturally lean. It's leaner than regular beef. Not a fan of.
Facty says, Johnny, what part of mayo do you not like? Is it the raw eggs? It's the MAYO part.
It's all of it.
It's all of it.
He does not like mayonnaise.
I don't like mayonnaise. I like eggs. I like vinegar when it's used properly. I like oil.
When Christmas rolls around, you hear that song, mayonnaise, mayonnaise.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Mayor Days. Mayor Days. It was like Mayor Days, Mayor Days, and then that's the chorus. And it was, but I always hear mayonnaise when I hear that song.
Oh.
This is a way too like personal reference here. Something that only I know of. And then whenever I hear it on the radio, I'm always like mayonnaise. My wife thinks I'm a fucking idiot. Hang on a sec. Christmas song, Your Days. I think is it Otis Redding? White Christmas?
Probably.
I think it's Otis Redding, White Christmas.
Running that song through my head right now. I think, yeah, I could see why. I could see the mayonnaise.
Lyrics. I'm dreaming of what could like this. Blah blah blah. May your days be so merry, merry and bright. So, but the way he produced, the way his accent or his dialect is just mayonnaise, and I always think it's funny. But apparently now the next time you hear that song, you're going to hear it that way. It's just gonna ruin it come Christmas.
I don't know. Well, maybe.
See, Limey Place is Me Too. There you go. Boom. Reality converges.
No.
The waveform coalesces into reality.
Lordy, sorry.
I'm so glad I'm not alone in that. That it's like this one thing that JL does. It's like I'm the only person on the planet who thinks this. It's like I'm not. Oh, it's so good to be a part of the group.
I think that Limey Play is just being nice.
I appreciate it if you are just being nice, Limey Play. I really do. John Rapp says hot dogs with ketchup, American mustard, and tasty cheese are a staple after every baseball game for my team. Classic. Actually, Nerd Angle says, any news on the Darth Dawkins front?
Yes.
Do you want to hold on? Do you want to hold on to that?
I'm going to hold on to this. It's going to be on tomorrow's news. Yes.
Okay, cool. Because there actually is something really fucking wild that went down, and Johnny, this went down yesterday, and it was wild. I inadvertently found myself smack in the middle of it while this crap was going down. Like in the channel when it was being discussed and all this stuff, and it was a bit of a wild ride. Oh, for about an hour, it was a bit of a wild ride, and then we figured things out. But Johnny's going to report on that tomorrow and share that with y'all. It's as cringe as you think it will be.
It's
Maybe
probably
even more.
Probably more. Yeah, probably more.
You think
cringe.
It's cringe? It's probably more cringe. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna retract and say, yeah, it's probably more cringe than you could think. God, it's cringe.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see the video you put together on it because, what the fuck?
Yeah, that whole business. My goodness.
Well, okay, Shane Summer. Did you see what he just put?
Yes, I'm purposely ignoring it.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. And then he says, "Oh, what a tease!"
Yes, what a
you'll
tease.
You'll dig it. And
no, Shane Sommer. Yeah, that you're right. It was Patman PDX, but there's more to the story than just Darth Dawkins using Patman PDX.
It was For those who don't know, it'll all be revealed tomorrow. Johnny will break it down. because I got involved, and then I got other people involved, and then people started investigating. Johnny will give you the whole rundown tomorrow. And so it involves Tom Rabbit. It involves a number of people. So it's interesting. It's interesting shit, and it's cringe. Way cringer than I think you think. Shane retracted, so he wouldn't spoil it. So.
Oh no, that part is not. I mean, anybody who's anybody could have figured that. I'm not anybody who's anybody is meaning that you didn't do something cool. What I'm saying is, that's not the worst part of the story. We'll just leave that there.
Tony, it was after the video where he was getting pissed at me, where he was annoyed at me. It's after that one, but and Johnny O. But it's that video is the video that we'll be referencing has since been pulled. So, and it got pulled, and like I said, I don't want to spoil too much. I don't want to spoil too much of the story. So you won't find it. If you're going to go look for it, you won't find it. So there was something else up there about Otangelo standing up to Darth or doing something. There's something else about Otangelo changing his mind or some shit. Him not wanting to go back to the server with Darth because Darth was acting like an asshole, treating him like shit. And then everyone was like, well, Otangelo, you said last time, because people asked Otangelo, why do you let Darth treat you that way?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And he'll be like,
well, maybe I like to be treated that way.
And people were like, well, why? Are you a masochist? Well, now finally Otangelo says,
no, I'm not going back to his server anymore.
And
that's more like, Kermit the Frog than Otangelo, but it's
it sounds like Otangelo. and Tom Rabbit was like, well, are you not going back to his server? Because he kicks him out of the server so many times. So he's like, are you not going back because he treats you like shit?
It is my policy to not talk about my personal decisions.
And it's like,
I hate how he tried to equate that with Darth. Like how Darth calls and said he won't speak to people who are
get more Kermit in there, man. More
transgender. Well, it's my policy not to talk about my personal decisions. How's that the same thing? How is that the same thing?
Because he wants to be equated with Darth. Darth is like the fucking bit. He treats him the way he does. This is so fucked up. You're familiar with Concrete, right? Concrete Plus.
Oh, all those sycophants? Yeah.
Yeah. Would you believe I had, for about 5 minutes, I had a conversation with Concrete where we absolutely agreed on that Otangelo video where Darth was trying to manipulate Otangelo as his narcissistic supply and was just going to cut him out completely. I won't speak to you. I won't respect you if you don't do as I say because my feelings are more valid than your integrity.
Right.
When I sat down with Concrete, I wanted to get his opinion, and we had a good conversation. It was like, yeah, that's Darth. He's manipulating him. He kind of white-knighted for Darth because Darth's old. He's been doing this so long. He's kind of set in his ways and blah blah blah. And I'm like, but is that really an excuse when he's sitting there calling himself a Christian? Could we not say that this behavior doesn't really comport with the image he's trying to give off? He's like, yeah, well, but he didn't let him off the hook. He just tried to explain it away. He's from a different time. They spoke differently back then. No, sorry, Granddad.
Motherfucker, you're not from 100 years ago. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
What was that? Oh, I'm sorry. My head goes so randomly, especially when I'm tired. Because a meme just popped in my head where it's like the guy and the girl are about ready to get it on, about ready to do it. And she asked him, it's like, is it hard? And then all of a sudden the door pops open and it's just Granddad. You know what was hard? Not now, Granddad. The war.
The war.
But yeah, I mean, he was just trying to explain it away, kind of kind of a soft white knight for Darth, just kind of like, oh, he's just an old man. That's the way old men talk.
Fuck that shit.
It's like,
old man talk to me like that, he might get a fucking backhand. He might have to go look for his goddamn dentures. Don't fucking speak to me like that, cool?
But
I'll be respectful to you. You be respectful to me. You talk to me the way Darth Dawkins likes to talk to people. You're gonna be hunting for your fucking teeth.
Yeah, shockingly, we actually had a decent. We agreed. We agreed that that's what Darth was doing to Otangelo, and Concrete did not agree with Darth trying to manipulate Otangelo like that because it was abusive, and he recognized that it was.
Yep.
He legitimately had compassion for Otangelo's position that Darth would put him in between Darth and a hard place. It's like he's going to stick him in where he has to choose between Darth's feelings and his own personal integrity.
Right.
And fuck Darth for putting him in that position. That's some bullshit.
Yep.
But then again, that's what a narcissist does. Fuck other people except for how I feel, because everyone else is just an extension of myself.
Yep. Because I guarantee you, if it had been different, if it had been us bagging on Otangelo, Darth would fucking debate you.
Maybe.
Maybe not on the plot hole. Maybe not on the plot hole, but he would debate you.
I don't know. I think he has this. I think it's gotten to the point where I think he's just, if he has this on a list, like on his shit list, and he just flat out will not engage with us. So if, like, say he called into like Friendly Neighborhood Atheist, or maybe if I was on AXP or something like this, and he called into the show, like if I said something, well, Darth, it's my policy not to talk to slanderers and defamers.
Right.
Yeah, it'd probably be some shit like that, like how because he's so like he did.
Well,
like
no. I understand, but what I'm saying is, if the situation were reversed, right? If you made your video about Otangelo, if I swung at him, right? If the swings were at Otangelo, Darth Dawkins would have no problem debating you.
This is interesting. Debating Otangelo. I'm kind of curious. For those in the live chat, I just for those who don't know, I was talking with Otangelo. I went back and forth with Otangelo, and just and we're supposed to debate on July the 1st. So I'm really curious. We know what happened between Otangelo and PhD Tony, because I'm pretty certain I would wager Otangelo found out that PhD Tony is a geophysicist and realized that he was way out of his league, which is why he tried to slough it off onto somebody else who,
they know this subject better than I, so they should go and debate him. I'm interested in the atheist argument,
and whatever. But so that's that's that. But we're supposed to debate atheism versus Christianity, and this weird conversation I've had going on in the background with Otangelo. Like you indicated, the arrogance which I have seen you behaving in one of the debates is also something which I dislike. I'm not sure what he means by that. I don't think I've behaved overly arrogant. I have gotten loud, and I have told people to shut up, like Rad Vlad, when they are literally just filibustering or running their mouths with inane bullshit that nobody wants to fucking hear, just so they can sit there and be the spotlight. Spotlight's on me. I gotta do that. But no, it's fucking obnoxious. And yeah, I'm better now than I was. I used to get really, really hot at that shit. I think I've got it under control, because I didn't do that with PK, with the pigeon. But he's accused me of being arrogant. If it just means I'm really confident in what I'm saying, I am confident in what I say.
Well, all that's fine. All that's fine, right? So you can be arrogant, right? Even if you are, be arrogant, right? Be confident, be an asshole. Here's the thing. If your argumentation is bad, a good debater can get in there and tear that apart.
Then and he's more than welcome to. If my argumentation is so bad, if I am so disingenuous, and I am completely and totally misrepresenting like biblical archaeology, you think I'm not going to go? You think I'm going to go into a fucking debate live and not have done my research? You're out of your mind. But if he thinks it's this, then he should be able to walk in and rip my shit in a heartbeat. Because his sources will be, I won't have sources, I won't have evidence, I'll be making baseless assertions that I can't back up. I'll be, my arguments will be informed by my opinions on Christianity, by my feelings. It'll be appeals to emotion, appeals to ignorance, appeals to incredulity, and I'll be making circular arguments or, whatever. I'll have all these problems, or I'll be even worse, at the absolute worst, I'll be violating the very laws of logic to make my shit work. I'll be citing logical inconsistencies or logical contradictions in order to make my stuff, work, or saying that I can know absolutely a thing that I could not possibly know.
Right.
But he, obviously he won't. I'm going to end up doing that to him. But he doesn't like my arrogance. He likes to have rational, calm, friendly conversations. He must have watched the one with Rad Vlad. And not listen to,
or the one with what's his name, Andy Shatkin.
Oh yeah, that was bad. I even called myself out on that one. I had to say sometimes they don't go so well, and I end up screaming at people, and not listen to hot, heated, screaming atheists. I think he listened to that because that was the only one I really screamed on. Was that one?
Yeah.
It was the if this is what you pretend to do, our debate will not last long. And I told him, yo, it's up to you. If you don't show up, that's on you. I'll be there.
Well, but here's the
waving
thing.
bells on.
This is the thing that kills me, right? So I sent him the debate format twice now, and it's the same debate format that I used yesterday, where you have 10 minutes opening statements, both sides, one after the other, and then one of you, whoever opened the argument first, will present their 3 points first. They'll have 10 minutes to present 3 points, and then you'll have 5 minutes of a rebuttal time to rebut those 3 points, and then vice versa. And then there'll be a 30-minute open discussion portion. It's just that 30 minutes where the moderation is going to have to be a little heavier than normal. Otherwise, he's going to have every bit of opportunity. That's what these fools don't understand. Is that when I invite somebody onto a debate show, it's not going to be those dumpster fires that they're used to. It's not going to be that stupid fucking Discord bullshit. I just shot an arrow.
Nice.
There's going to be structure. Everybody's going to have the opportunity to present their argument.
I don't know what he's worried about. I mean, if he's got me dead to rights, he's got me dead to rights, and I'll go out there and I'll make a freaking fool of myself, and that'll be it. But I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'll be there. But his final response was, "I'll pretend to show up."
I mean,
I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
well,
I will pretend to show up.
It's like Arnie Kermit the Frog.
We're lucky it's on a piece of paper.
We're lucky that it's on a piece of paper.
It's
Anyway.
not easy being green.
Jesus Christ. All right, it's time to get out of here. It's 9:30. Let's
That's hardly time. We started at like 7:30.
It's 2 hours.
So?
What do you mean so?
Fuck
JL, the second you get off this call, you're going to get up to go, I'm going to go do 10,000 different things. And you're going to be like fucking Jim Carrey in Yes Man after all the Red Bulls.
No, I'm going to be like Jim Carrey in The Bad Batch. Looking like that. You probably haven't seen that movie.
I don't think I've seen that.
Jason Momoa, Keanu Reeves, Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was uncredited in it. He played the Hermit, completely unrecognizable, huge long beard, tan, been out in the sun for forever, living out in the desert. But yeah, it was really, really good. But I'll be looking like him.
Yeah, right. You'll be.
I'm curious. I wanted to ask the live chat a question. So, JL, in fact, he said he will come as a ghost just to test your ability. That's funny. So, this is the question, live chat. We know what went down between Otangelo and PSG Tony. We know that Otangelo's been very, very weird and discoursing with me, and the shit with Darth and all this crap. Do you guys think, one in the chat, if you think Otangelo will actually show up? 2, if you don't. I'm just curious. Curious what people think. 1, if you think he'll show up. 2, if you don't. If you think he'll bitch made. Oh, Basic Trigonometry says he's just started watching The Bad Batch on Netflix. Then you will see Jim Carrey in an almost unrecognizable role. And Keanu Reeves, who, I mean, he's more visible than that, but he pretty much goes out of his way to not look like Keanu Reeves. But it was a decent movie. I just think it shouldn't have been.
I just got shot in the face with a Nerf arrow.
Entertaining movie. I liked it. I thought it was good. It could have been marketed better. Also, if you all have not seen it, what is that? There's a new action movie out starring Frank Grillo, Naomi Watts, Mel Gibson called, I think, Boss Level. Yes, Boss Level, starring Frank Grillo from The Purge, Mel Gibson, Naomi Watts, and Michelle Yeoh. If you have not seen this movie, You must. It is currently on Hulu. You have to watch this movie. It's called. It's knockdown dragon funny. It's violent but not gory, and how to describe it? Okay, it's directed by Joe Carnahan, who directed Smokin' Aces.
I saw Smoking Aces once. I thought it was dumb.
I thought Smokin' Aces was fantastic. Smokin' Aces 2, not so great. Smokin'
Maybe
Aces
that's the one
1,
I'm thinking of.
yeah, Smokin' Aces 2 was just it was basically trying to redo what they did in the first one, trying to capture lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
But Smokin' Aces 1 with Ray Liotta, Ryan Reynolds, Common, Taraji Henson, it was a huge ensemble piece. All of them were absolutely amazing. God, that was a good movie. And then the sequel was just crap. But or they technically, I think technically it was a prequel. Yeah, prequel. The prequel was crap. But this one, Boss Level, Frank Grillo makes that movie. Frank Grillo is absolutely amazing. Mel Gibson was good. Naomi Watts was good, and it was just. There were moments I had to stop that movie because I was laughing my ass off. It is so damn funny. So hilarious. We got more 2s than we got 1s, but we only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 people vote. So actually 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, it's tied.
Tied, yeah.
So yeah,
I think he'll show. I think he'll be there. I think
you think he'll show? Yeah, I was like, yeah.
He's already sacrificed himself to the gods of Darth Dawkins. So
yes, Limey played Boss Level was brilliant, and Dora says a violent Groundhog Day. Kind of like that. It's absolutely hysterical.
I thought a violent Groundhog Day was Happy Death Day.
Happy Death Day, but it's not a horror film. It's an action film.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But it's done in a way that is palatable and it's hyper entertaining. I've always seen you always see Frank Grillo because Frank Grillo was Crossbones in the MCU.
Right.
And so he's always played these kind of tough guys that are kind of one dimensional. He is next level in this one. He really shows his chops as an actor, and I not to mention, he's an action star, but he's also deep, and I just loved it. It's so fucking great. I am Guan Yi. I am Guan Yu. What was her name? I am Guan Yu, and Guan Yu has done this. Shit is fucking awesome.
Jesus. All right, let's get out of here. I got puppies to take care of, kids to feed.
So other than your stuff coming up, this is pretty much the same?
That's pretty much going to be it, yeah. I've got 4 things coming out next week. 2, the Course Dingleberries on Friday, and then the news tomorrow, and then the live stream on Tuesday, and then the debate on Thursday.
Awesome.
And then, of course, Weekend Horror on Wednesday. God,
on Wednesday.
Busy.
I know I've been a little quiet on my personal channel as of recent. The quality of my channel, although my past videos has been strong enough to still net me some subscribers. People still seem to be hitting up the Darth Dawkins one. It's still my biggest video, and I'm glad that people are liking it. I will get down to selling. Like I said, selling a house in America is a pain in the padded ass. It's just a process by which you do it. It should. I wish it was easier, but it's not. So we're currently dealing with that. And as far as like maintaining, going through this process, moving and dealing with Weekend Horror is about all I can handle right now, because right now I'm like neck deep in the end of month stuff for Weekend Horror, when I got to handle all of our end of month shit, the social media presence, Teespring, Patreon, making sure everything is good to go, and make sure that this move has not disrupted anything. Because remember, we were Dallas based, now we are Texas based, now we're Oklahoma based. So it's just just dealing with shit. So my personal creative content, I will get back to that. I will get back on track with that. Things are just the whole move just kind of threw everything into upheaval. But that will get back. But you will still get Weekend Horror every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. We will still do trivia. We'll still do all the usual stuff. Just my personal channel. You may see an occasional short up there, just kind of keep things fresh, But as far as like my next big project, I just got too much shit to deal with before I can dive right into that one again. But it will come. I promise. It will.
Very good. I look forward to it. Anyway, let's get out of here. Let's do our thing. Property Brothers have no problem selling a house. Yeah, it's because the house is already sold when they make their show.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Doris says thank you to the 2 Beardsmen.
It is a 2
Yes,
Beardsmen.
Dora, just moving socks off. Yes, especially moving out of state.
Yeah.
Moving from, if I just been moving down the street or two, in the same area, that's one thing. But man, it's almost a 5-hour trip between here and there. And when you make that trip in 2 days, less than 48 hours down and back, and not to mention when you get down, it's not like you're relaxing. You're running around all over town, all over trying to deal with shit. And then you got to drive back. It takes a toll. So hopefully we will get past this and we will be done. And that's it. So, but slowly but surely. And then I'll be Oprah rich. No, I'm not going to be Oprah rich. That's a Zack and Mary reference if anybody doesn't know that. But I'll be able to sit pretty and really focus on bringing you guys the absolute best content that I possibly can, because I will finally have the time to truly dedicate to it. And not to mention, hopefully we'll get to Ireland sometime.
Yeah, sometime. Anyway, it's time to go. Bye, everybody.
It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go.
It's time for you to go to bed.
Sleep when you're dead.
No, it's time for you to go to. You know what, JL? You've been muted. You're muted. Don't ever talk me.